This is Tuesday after work, and ordinarily Tuesday after work I'd be doing a VO2 max workout, but I can't do a VO2 max workout because my bike's in the bike shop because the Saturday before I broke my derailleur. Hey cycling community, this is Steve, Grusis the Cycling Greek. Let's first go over the basics. This is 13 miles and has 622 feet of climbing. While I love to climb on the road, I do not like climbing on Zwift. If this race taught me anything, it taught me to stay away from any Zwift race that has over 600 feet of climbing within 13 miles. This race started much easier than what usually happens. And I was starting to think, these guys probably know something that I don't. Actually, I didn't start to think that quite yet. What was happening was after a while, it seemed it was pretty darn easy. And I'm thinking, why are these guys going so slow? Maybe I should attack. About a month ago, I made a change in my training. With my consistent execution of that training plan, I've been getting stronger. You may be thinking you sound a little surprised because of that. Well, within a couple months, I'm going to be 69. Jumping ahead to 11 miles to go, I now see why the pack started so easy. And to think, I almost jumped away to initiate a break. Because what would have happened? I would have gotten to this climb, and then I would have been off the back. Something told me this move was dangerous. Now, I would have recognized this as dangerous 2 weeks ago, but I wouldn't have been strong enough, or wouldn't have felt strong enough to be able to go after it. Now I am. The two riders that initiated this move are Bisson and Crouch. Looking at the little overhead map at the upper right-hand corner, we are stretched out. And I am stretched out right now, so I got some people that came up. Bisson is coming back, someone else is countering, and that is Steven Sue. That is an excellent move. I'm getting a little concerned right now, not because Steve's out there, but because I'm not going to climb any faster and people are starting to pass me. Things have finally flattened out, but that's only temporary because they're back up to 5% again. Fortunately, the pack and I are going about the same speed, so when I look at the graphics on the right-hand side, I can compare my watts per kilogram with everyone else's. That is, if I'm not too hypoxic to be able to take in that information. Sue is still out there, and now he's getting another couple people to come with him. And if they are able to establish that break that's happening right now, then it sucks for me. I've never done this course before, so I don't know where the top is. I'm looking at that insert map, and my little red dot is barely in the top half of that strung out pack. Looking up the road, there's someone that has a 1 second gap on everyone else. That may be Sue. I don't know. What I do know is that my watts per kilogram are a little lower than everyone else's in my group, and I'm starting to go backwards. Because my legs were hurting so much, I was starting to think, I forgot to do my massage after I did my little gravel easy ride the day before. I'll tell you, I did it after this race, and boy, did I need it. So more riders went by me, and then I'm doing my effort to keep up with them. Maybe they're going to drag me back up, and so far, looking so good. We have a sprint point coming up, so hit my arrow power up so I can get a new power up. And the one that I want is not an arrow, I want a feather. I want a climbing power up, but I end up with another power boost. Okay, the situation is that we're still strung out. We're now at about 1 and 2% climbing, which makes it a little bit easier for me. They're still within sight. Now the farthest guy is like 5 seconds away. I try to hang on with whatever small group I'm with, and if they start to falter, if I have enough legs, which so far I have been able to, I jump away from them and I try to get up to the next group, like I'm doing now. Finally, and I hope finally, we're on a descent and we just hit the top. The problem is for me, when I look at the graphics right above me, this is the first of 3 laps. I got to do this 2 more times. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it 2 more times. There's no coasting on the descent. These guys don't lollygag. Jumping ahead to 7 miles to go, I made it up to the rest of them, and I got a little chance to rest, but now we're starting the climbs on this second lap. The trials and tribulations I went through on that first lap, I now get to do again. We started with a pack of 50, and at one point we got down to a pack of 34, and I think it is in this group right now, starting the second lap climbing, that we are at a pack of 17. I'm trying to use the easiest gear using the highest cadence possible to get the job done. Reason being is that it puts more pressure on my lungs and heart compared to my muscles, which won't last as long and will take longer to recover. I jumped ahead a little bit to get past the flats. That little climb that we encountered, that was just a little bit of a teaser. Now we're starting the main climb, and I'm starting to get a proper pounding. I've also started to notice that I'm not putting out as much power as I did on that first lap. My eyes have wandered to the graphics on the right so I can see how far back the next rider is behind me. That's not our group. And right now that seems to be about 14 seconds. Seemingly I'm in 15th place. There goes the group up the road. I have 6.4 miles to go, and the next person behind me is only 13 seconds. Make that 11. And the next person behind him, actually there's a couple of them, they're about at the 18-second mark. So I figure, give it the old college try. The top of my tempo is at about 243 watts, and my FTP is 270. Let's see what I can do. I finally got caught by Schaffler with about 3.2 miles to go, 5K to go. Since he was doing all that chasing and I was trying to stay away from him until the very end where I thought he was going to come and get me, which he did, and I kind of let up a bit, I tried to get away from him on the climb. And this is that introductory climb before we start the main climbing. And he's going past me, so I'm thinking, well, okay, that didn't work so well. So I just need to sit in and then rest as much as I can. I look at the graphics on the right again, and there's somebody that's just about to make a connection with us, and that is DC. So now I'm starting to look back at the next group, and the next group's at about 21, 22 seconds. Ordinarily, I would think that's a big enough gap. I'll end up with either 15th, 16th, or 17th. But I'm almost cross-chaining. I'm running out of gears. I don't want to go to my small ring to survive this. Just a little while later at the 2.5 mile mark, and after a few attacks and counterattacks, I have my ugly face on as DC goes up the road and Shafter goes after him. I can't respond, so I look at the graphics on the right and see that the group behind me is at about 14 seconds and dropping. I also notice that the muscles in my legs are screaming. Like a horse going back to the barn, I see that Schaffler got dropped, and I make connection with him, and I try to pass him and just drop him. It's now just under 2 miles to go. That group behind us is at 9 seconds. At 1.4 miles to go, the chasers are right about on us. I'm starting to weaken from my half-mile pull. Schaffler goes up ahead. He is hoping that the others will see me slow down a bit when they catch up to me, and that may give him an extra second or two. That's what I would do if I had the legs. So now I'm trying to recover, and that's a fleeting word at the moment. And I'm trying to pick up my speed to, one, hope that some of the chasers are tired from the chase and drop off, and two, keep up my speed so that when they come by me, I have a better chance to stay connected to them. What I didn't consider is they're probably resting behind me a little bit. So when they come by, the speed's up there, so I'm able to stay connected. So number 2 is working out. Now, when you look at the instrument right up ahead, we have Schaffler that's up there that looks like he's going to be caught, and we have another rider just past him. We are down to 1K to go. My 16th place is now out the window, and I don't have a lot of bananas left. At the back of this chase group, I am in 23rd place. I look behind me. The next person is about 12 seconds behind. So I figure, okay, 23rd place. I'm in the top half still. I had positioned myself toward the back, hit the draft power boost to get some bananas, and so now I'm off. Now I did this at about 0.4 miles to go. At that distance, I was literally rolling the dice. The actual effect I have was that I was a lead out. I got my ugly face on again. I'm going as hard as I can just so I pass somebody. Trav's right in front of me. Maybe I can get Trav. I give it another shot, and that's it. No more bananas. I end up 22nd. Still in the top half, though. The person that won the race was Steven Sue, an early instigator. And I found out at the beginning of the race that he's a subscriber to my channel. I finished this race at 3.1 watts per kilogram. And most everybody that in the top tier seemed to finish at 3.0 to 3.2. Sue came in at a whopping 3.4. Sue looks like he's ready for an upgrade. All right, I hope you enjoyed this and you got something out of it. You know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.